Start things out on the UAH side. Alabama, Huntsville, Trapman, Turt, Josiah, Gray B2, and Efren rounding out the roster for them. And then on the other side, it's OCCC with Chu, Seal, Vis, Esme, and Chromzy. I gotta be honest, I'm very much looking.
Teams use this as a litmus test. What can we get away with? Can we get away with a fast push? Can we get away with some dueling? Right, the gun marksmanship, I like to say, on Mound
map. I feel like this is the domain of Sky, you know, as an initiator. So to see a fade is a little bit abnormal, but can certainly work. On the other side of things, OCCC, a bit more of a traditional style for the attack side this time out.
Well, traditional or unique work in their favor, and that's always been a question on my mind. But for right now, it is that test, right? As we said, limit testing in the middle, and so far it's just pistols all the way around in this mid.
Efrant taking out the first frag and attempting to go forward as Viz. It will eventually be one man down as Turk gets dispatched. The right click back and forth doesn't go well for the defense, but Gravy 2 is right in position at the link in order to take space there. Rotations over for OCCC onto the C site. And they'll get the spike down and make their way into spawn as well to take that space.
It was a very quick challenge, but of course, when it met with that initial aggression, you have to back away. OCCC make the quick call. They rotate out, and now they have a choice. Do they actually want to defend hard, or do they want to rotate around? I think go ahead and keep where you are, and then look for those quick taps on the defusal. You know, chargers, they say, hey, kind of know what's up. We're going to try and hold our own. A little bit of fade util sent out, but inside of the zone, it's going to cause some problems. As Seal said, thank you very much. Efren got found out. Gray is now going to tap in their own right, and you don't really have a choice. And a 2v1 with a turret to boot, that 2.5 versus 1 turns into a win for OCCC.
You know, I really love how they use the nebula that Efren puts into position to support the defense there, to the detriment of the defense, right? A couple of things, right? First of all, the fade utility got no value because it was outside the nebula. Everybody could just step right into the nebula, so nobody gets seen. In addition to that, you have the turret that was chilling there. It's basically a little surprise, you know? 2 players essentially swinging at the same time as soon as you walk into that nebula. Really worked well for the offense when it was meant to be defensive-sided.
And they're hoping to do a little bit more behind it. They're going to test the waters once again, which I really do appreciate. Last time around, it was pistols only, and they ended up going 3 for 3. So, you know, running back in and saying, hey, we might have a better chance now that we have the guns in hand. We have a little bit of a satchel as well to boost our way forward and take full clearance. No one on the side of UAH Chargers wants to try and fight this one. Efren, though, off on the corner said, thank you very much. Great headshot on Esme. She is going to fall. And now it's down to this 4v5. OCCC looking to defend.
They've got some good control there towards heaven. That's very positive news. Here comes some utility to try and find some information. Viz going to connect in the first shot. That's a teammate, and Chromzy with Viz's support is there for everything. Seal swinging alongside. It's basically free as the retake stymied there by OCCC. UAH on the pistols will be not so devastated. They'll be buying back into the next round.
They're chilling. They knew that was going to happen. The only thing that they're sad about is they couldn't grab another set of frags, right? Maybe, you know, 1 or 2 more would have been a nice little icing on the cake. Get the charges a little bit further ahead. But for right now, you're playing like you do. You lost the pistol, fine, whatever. Let's go ahead and look for this third. If you lose this third, yeah, it's going to feel bad, but you go ahead and go with the norm, then you go ahead and chase for that 4th. I mean, everyone knows this song and dance pretty much set in stone.
Go get him.
I love the aggression, though, that UAH are putting together in this round, making sure to take space. That is the biggest key, I think, to this map, is to take space defensively and, you know, not get too forward, but also not allow the offense to get free control.
Well, Chu getting in this corner, but really well found out. Trapman able to read off a lot of that util, said, hey, I know where the space is. I know exactly where you're planning yourself, and there's only one spot you could be. So thank you very much for that kill. OCCC now stuck in this situation. That was their lurker. That was a lot of information gathering that they just lost. And now mid, Efrain is free to take a couple kills. Gets a second behind. Really well done. That first blood working in UAH Chargers' favor.
Quick and simple, making their way through. This is going to be a long cleanup process for Esme and Co. But Viz is already starting that out with an engagement victory.
30 seconds
Esme
left.
will at least get an upgrade onto a rifle, so she's got something a little bit better in her hands, but 20 seconds isn't a lot of time to work with, and as you can see, Trapman is closing in. There is
One enemy
danger
remaining.
no matter where you look, and Trapman here to close this down. Josiah will actually do the damage. A very good first gun round.
I think that bodes well for them. Again, we did say it was the standard. It is the mark of a game of Valorant. You now get to, after taking your licks and giving them, you say, okay, now we actually get to play. And let's take a look at those inventories as well. That's what everyone's saying. At the current moment, though, UAH Chargers sitting a little bit better in terms of the econ that they came out with it, right? Four guns going in this. Didn't really have to buy up. So for OCCC, it is now the time to test. And this is why they're stacking in this A position. You go ahead, take those long guns, and just go straight for that gun duel.
Early utility doesn't find too much purchase either out there towards Rubble, nor towards Root either way. OCCC, they have their A control, and they'll, well, maybe not just hold on to it, because with that kill, Efrain down, suddenly Trapman very much on an island, just hanging out all alone. Great dodge of the paranoia, has just had time for the cavalry to come, but the cavalry too much to deal with. That is UAH falling, as the site does as well.
So well done, identifying that they are weaker here, that they were falling back a little bit too quickly, and OCCC chase. OCCC now looking for that last member. And if you get a flawless here, this really sets the econ situation in your favor. You get to hang on to that. Not only do you have the From the Shadows, but you get a directive over UAH. You know for a fact that they're going to be weak on guns next round. Nothing to really surprise them there. And you don't give any extra charging to them. So everything here, as long as you don't give an extra kill over, well, old Turt's going to be like, hey, you gave it to me. Chromesy, though, says we are finished or left alive. Great start for OCCC.
Great start for Chromesy as well. Just, zooming in a bit. 7-1 on the Omen to start this bad boy out. The OCCC side of things, that is incredibly solid to see. Love to see especially a Smokes player, picking up those sorts of numbers. It's not always easy to frag from the Smokes position, Some people can do it, but I wouldn't call it the easiest spot to work from at times. So I love to see that. It is a bit more of a broken buy than you would have hoped, but it's honestly not bad here for the defense.
Not at all. It's still early rounds. You're still working with stuff. And Efrain's still saying, I got some fight left in me. 1-for-1 at the start is an okay battle, and makes OCCC a little bit more cautious about this A-side hit. Instead, with that limit tester, you're now going to take a look into B and C. Go ahead and check out those options as well. Trailblazer denied any sort of extra entry. And now some more smokes go down, completely cutting off this sightline in the B. UAH Chargers have to back away.
Finished.
Oh my goodness. That's free from Seal. Gets the timing right as Shrouded Step to go across. Efrain taking down players on the cross. Seal caught out as well. That Shrouded Step allows passage, and Chu is going to follow suit with the rest of OCCC. But Turt from the back of the site is not down just yet. And the spray continuing for a second frag. UAH, they're doing well here against this C site push. 1v3 for Chu is required.
Oh man, what a turnaround. UAH feeling good, and she was only able to grab one more out of a sticky situation. The Chargers are able to fight back, but I mean, really well done by OCCC. Their early aggression is starting to net them some space and net them some opportunities, I think is the best way to put it, right? They are making sure to take advantage when they know there's a weak side, and knowing, hey, some of those, I want to say freak opportunities, that kill over there on Mound, just going straight through the smoke. It's, hey, we got that kill, let's go ahead. make a play,
About
but you
this.
got to be worried about UAH Chargers fighting back, understanding that they have some awesome gunners right now. Efran top of the leaderboard right there for them.
Not just guns, ultimates too. Got the Tour de Force out and ready to roll here. For UAH Blue, they're going to work that. Trailblazer finding pretty much nothing over at Mound. That's going to give OCCC the space and the freedom to just walk their way up Mound and towards the seaside itself. But there is a lot of defenders here for UAH. They've just rotated a third player over to
You
C.
should run.
I mean, they're trying to preemptively get in the way, but right now you all gotta kind of back away unless you can break this lockdown. But Turret said, hey, I can do you one better. I can take one off the map. So that
Turret's
lockdown,
locked.
unfortunately, may not get that much. Oh, Turret is locked, but they are pretty far away. I think they're going to be safe. Instead, it is going to be a clean
Spike
plant from
planted.
OCCC, only losing one earlier before the entry. And now it's UAH Chargers to fight back.
Hey, granted, yeah, only lost that one, but they also got the confirmation, the space onto the site. Now they can play the post plant, but the showstopper in to deny its close
Jeez.
range. And that range is going to do it 1-for-1s across the board, and that's
Player
favoring
standing.
the defense as Josiah finally finds support. It's 1v3. Efren just holding on the defuse. Nobody to deny. Combsy too late to the party. And the smokes are better for Efren, who holds on that defuse.
I have a very, very good feeling that OCCC, they knew that that was going to go a little bit sideways once the re-entry started to happen, the retake started to occur. And I mean, Cronzy was just like, yeah, I'll try and take what I can. So well done by UAH Chargers grabbing around back. It was expensive. You can go ahead and see that the buy-up this time around has hurt their wallets. And OCCC going with the good old bargain bin. I like this call. Go ahead and rush and just sprint your way to a hopeful round victory.
Oh my goodness. Efran just timing through smoke seems to be a big factor in this game thus far. Chromesy's going to get a trade as Efran get a bit too far forward, and that Viper's pit on the site. Not yet netted a plant of the spike, but that's soon to come. Chromesy, that could have been very dangerous.
It could have, but I like the call, right? You already have the high ground, don't want to change too much and want to, maintain your advantage up here. So you go ahead and you might find a lurker for your troubles. Does it pan out? Yes, it does. Chromesy said, ha, I read you like a book. I will catch you away. But the answering Viper's pit may be the call for UAH Chargers. They lost one of the rotators and now two more backing away. So it looks like they are conceding this round, but UAH Chargers, they left their Viper in a dangerous spot. That could be their death. Josiah said, nah, it ain't so dangerous. We're going to go ahead and keep fighting because I just realized the spike isn't actually down. They tossed it down. It wasn't able to be planted. What a turn of events.
Yeah, got denied. That's huge. Oh, Esme couldn't quite see anything just above that Viper's pit. Both will fall, and, well, at least will soon. Chu just trying to get the heck out of dodge. We'll get the spike planted potentially.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, that's a great fight, but when bullet in the chamber, that isn't enough. Do they realize how little there is left? Not a clue how close Turret is located. That reload will give it away, and Turret will take the day.
Chu didn't have a choice. Chu did not have a choice. He had to either pick back into a corner and wait with only a few bullets in, or risk it and go for the reload. But I have to say, for Esme, that was one of the more unfortunate scenarios to occur, right? You try and hop up, you thought you were going to get high enough, and if you had been able to spot out, if those smokes had not overlapped in such a way, I think you would have been okay, right? The Viper's pit really clouding judgment there, but overall, again, expensive rounds time and time again. So OCCC, even though it's a round loss, even though UAH Chargers are ahead, you know that they should be hurting. So if you can just win a round back, it won't be too hard to put them into a ping pong.
3 in a row. One more round, and I think OCCC are in some big trouble. So this one, heavy impact, fast, out towards B. The showstopper will lead the way, and Vis doesn't find quite anyone to shoot at. Trapman nearing the other side, but backing away, so the showstopper falls flat. Prowler doesn't catch any information. That may give Dre the idea that something is clear. Seekers now to give confirmation that there's at least 2 towards heaven. And once again, the Prowler walks right by. Not spotted. This is false information that has been given to these players moving in. Chromes, you could have the win con here, but gets checked immediately. That was incredible. Great work. It's too bad it doesn't give UAH a win.
I mean, that was... I have to say, Chromesy with the duck and hide was great, and I guess baited out the rest of the team, because UAH, they get pushed back and bumped out of their econ. They lose all their guns. They only drop Chromesy. The lurk working to peak efficiency, I guess. And well done to OCCC. They stifled that aggressive run. That 3-round run did not end up a 4th, and now they get freedom to push if they so wish. No ults on the other side, except for that fatal, and other than that, I think you're going to be okay. So UAH Chargers looking to get aggressive and just try and take the chances, which of course is not really going to work out that well.
I mean, valiant effort, worth a try in most cases, but Viz taking no prisoners, not going to be having any of that business. Trailblazer to further confirm the clarity of the A site, and it's mostly there. Now, granted, Josiah hanging out up top, but just a pistol, a classic actually, alone, not going to be enough. Turt's waiting for a rotation to come through. Ooh, from heaven, might be able to do something more, but now he's all alone.
Sad days, right? Very, very sad days. And I mean, to be fair, you didn't really put too much in here, so the loss here doesn't feel as bad as it could be. At the moment, it is just kind of regroup and get yourself back into a good headspace. You have the guns, you have the equipment, you have the util ready to go. And now you get to try and chase out. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a full default setup. Maybe put one over onto the C side, or looking like they're going to try and challenge a little bit farther forward. They are expecting a A side hit instead, whereas OCCC, given a little bit of a glance, the fadeaway to the C site.
We'll see how this one goes. It's been a story of just small runs of victory here on this map. You know, 3 rounds here, 3 rounds there. Not any sustained, continued success. And that kind of goes to show how each team has looked to adjust their play style as this game has continued. But this gun round, essentially, the potential to win this half is kind of on the cards here. If OCCC able to continue to overcome, then hey, they're on the cusp of doing just that.
Ooh, using that from the shadows, immediately spotted out. So they got information. I have, I think, 2. No, it was just 1. I do apologize. It is just that chamber sitting up there, and because of that, C-side is open. Given by UAH Chargers, but they have been good on the retake. The retakes have been very, very entertaining and very fun to watch. So at the moment, it'll be a plant. As May. All right, they're gonna give the plant over to the Viper. Make sure to walk that orb up. But here it goes. Chargers are looking for that re-engage with the Viper spit, though. It's gonna be much harder.
Yeah, Nightfall goes in. That's going to paint a picture of how things go. And 2 frags immediately. That's chewed down. No more Viper spit. No more defense to be had. That's incredible from UAH. They just win every gunfight, all walk in at the same time and find the victories. The Nightfall, as I said, painting a picture of where those players on the site were located.
It's such a good counter, and I know you were asking about that fade, you know, how exactly is it going to work, and hey, maybe that's the call. It only happened once. We need to see it, you know, maybe 2 or 3 more times before we can actually say it's the right, the perfect answer here, but it did so well, and you saw how quick their re-engage was, the retake value was. So UAH Chargers go ahead and don't allow a major run out of OCCC. Instead, it is tied 5-5 as we head into the last 2. And I expect OCCC to come out with some fire, maybe look for another aggressive push if they wish.
Certainly a possibility. That showstopper in hand absolutely gives that indication that it could be true. We'll see the Rays pushing up all the way through root and into spawn. Turret's actually the one to deliver the opening frag, but here's the showstopper. Blinded, but stole. Where did it go? Lucky to be alive, and Esme's support is superb from the back line. Support that was required for OCCC to get out of that alive. Now they have an advantage, 4 on 3. Back over to A.
Chew kissed the side of that showstopper, by the way. That was so much fun. I love seeing that stuff happen too, because on the other side, you're just like, I hate all of this. If you're that rage, you
Spike
hate what just
planted.
happened. That was almost a kill. And instead, you're down 3 members. You have no real chance to actually get this fight unless you have a god tier play here, unless you get a god tier frag out and are able to make some space. This has to be near perfect. A little bit of poison goes out to slow down along that wall. Turt still hunting for an opportunity, but
Last
I mean, they
player
might as well jump
standing.
down. A quick tap though by Viz finds one, and then Turt of course has to swap to the pistol. Can't find anything else. It will be 6-0 CCC.
Last round in the
Like I
half.
said, that round big when it comes to where this half will end and whether or not OCCC get the opportunity to have a lead. They do indeed get that opportunity, but they're up against already a tour de force in the back pocket for Turt. That had some good impact at the last time out that we saw it. In addition to that, OCCC have their showstopper. So we could see something quite explosive, and I'm thinking maybe so, based on the way they're set up over at the A site. Here it goes. Yeah, double satchel to get over Rebel. Viz not taking the time to hit the shots or even hit the ultimate button just yet, but Chromesy, through the toxic screen, I think, found that kill.
I mean, Viz is just blind firing, and I think that was a little bit of a retort as Viz is currently down to 82 with about 12 shield. I think that's a good response. Efran, though, setting themselves up to try and space just outside of this lockdown. And, you know, great space given once again. OCCC really utilizing this lockdown consistently to get space and gather a little bit of information. Not just that, the orb cutting off Efran's sight line means that they are dead. Chromesy with the beauty
Spike
of a kill.
planted. Last
It's
player
working
standing.
quite well indeed with these frags. Didn't even need the showstopper, really. Turt and his tour de force. Not particularly effective position to be using an operator, that's for sure. Or is it a lot of time to contend with? Great flick, well adjusted. The problem is there's 4 more players to find. One of those with a big rocket strapped to their belt. Yep, there it is. A little, no thank you.
Nope. Turt, though, you know, the round may or may not be over, but you are going to take as many people as you can with you. It is going to be a heck of a time, as Viz doesn't even need to see Turt at that point. Just fire through the box, and you get the dub. OCCC
Switching
on their
sides.
map pick are sitting on 7. A 2-round lead, nothing to scoff at, but at the same time, still very overcomable.
Yeah, I'd call this a decent enough position for OCCC. You may have wanted, I think it would have been nice to have one more round of buffer, but can never be mad about winning a half 7-5. That's something that you'll take every day of the week. OCCC now into the defense. How will they play this one? I do think that it's going to be interesting to see that fade as well as it gets started on the offense.
I mean, Gray has not had the best of times so far, but this might be a chance at redemption. Viz currently caught out a little bit by those trails, says, hey, I can't go any further. Unfortunately, that early defensive action that they're hoping for is not going to work. Instead, Trapman finds Chromesy on the other side. What a shot. Beautifully done. And I'm enjoying a lot of these quick taps. Both teams kind of showing off here, and their top fraggers really trying to light that scoreboard up.
It was a cool haunt to begin with. I mean, I asked the question. I'll go ahead and point back to it. That haunt to try and deny or at least get confirmation of top rebel, where often you'll see that Rays get to. I think that's a fun way to use that utility and get that early information that typically you would want to use a guiding light for.
Just a different way of getting around it, as you said. And this time around, though, Seal was ready. OCCC hold it down on the C side with that lurk. And instead, UAH are kind of locked into this A side position. A quick rotate from the rest of OCCC will give them a somewhat player evenness. But OCCC, oh my gosh,
left.
Viz goes ahead and sends 2 to the grave in a tap. And now you're looking down the barrel of a 3v2. Efren evens it up, though. Shu not able to convert. And instead, Esme on the low ground with a teammate right in tow are both looking to try and collapse in. They can make this work, but they have to be aware the turret's going to give a little bit of information. and try and play sentry as the name implies. A deep fade around as Esme is going to hit the button. Problem
One
occurring
enemy
though as that's
remaining.
just a bait out, and that gives time for Seal to find Efren. Seal needs one more. Just a quick peek. Tags Josiah in the head, and Josiah is running for the hills. He can't get that kill, and Esme finishes it off. It is going to be a pistol round win for OCCC.
That is fantastic to see, especially that little bait that that Esme was able to put together in order to, it really baited Efran into not even just any response. It was just enough time for Seal to swing around and find that connection. It's exactly what was required. And UAH, who had put together a really good pistol round to that point, denied. We'll see what they do in this second round, because I'm seeing some force buys coming out for UAH Blue. They're going the Stinger route. Gonna get 5 of them. Armor to add onto that. Turret will take the initial connection, or at least try to, on the Headhunter, but doesn't find anybody to shoot at.
I mean, you can take a look at UAH Chargers living up to his name, trying to chase him, but that initial stop has kind of given away the Seeker, right? The Stinger Rush is great if you can get up in the opponent's face. You're able to catch them off guard, but this time around, it felt like OCCC knew that they were going to try and hammer this home, and instead, they wisely back away. They got some fragment damage, which has been healed up, by the way. So go ahead and back away, go ahead and play safe, and now you can regroup on the other side. You know where all 5 members of UAH are. Josiah, though, says it doesn't matter if you see us, Esme, you are going to fall. Couple shots out of Viz, able to find one. Remember, last time, Viz was one of the catalysts for getting multiple round wins, and that is going to be Viz taking 2 once again before falling down to a 3v3.
Rotations getting activated. Chromesy already in a good position as the Viper's pit, or the Viper's wall falls down. Unfortunately,
planted.
loses that gunfight, loses the spray a little bit late into it, and now troublesome scenes as a crossfire is set for
Last player
UAH.
standing.
OCCC is still somewhat aware of it, and Josiah winning another fight. All 3 of the remaining attackers are still incredibly low, giving Chu a real chance at this one, but this crossfire set is going to be so difficult to overcome, and indeed, Chu gets just the one.
Positions were known, but couldn't swing fast enough, couldn't hit that 180 to really get all the way around, so feels a little bit bad, and well done to the side of UAH. It was looking a little bit spicy, and I mean, their gamble paid off is the only way I can put it, right? You run Stingers, you say, hey, we're going to take it a shot, and we got it. We stifle that down instead of a 9-6 situation. Instead, you're just looking at a 7-8, and you keep pretty close pace with OCCC. OCCC now sitting on their own chairs, and a shorty in the hand. Gonna have some fun with that.
Yeah, not quite the investment as before. That's a fight that Turret will pay with his life for. Gets the Bulldog shot on target, but eats the nade all the way.
I don't think anyone was expecting that. We heard the noise and saw it coming out of our face, but we said, nope, that definitely did it. That was my exact words at the end there. So taking a look here, that early aggression now leaves everyone a little bit wondering with that challenge. It's OCCC to walk away, but I mean, they are outgunned, so any medium range fights that they're going to take are going to be in trouble. With this B side now has to try and be converted. And instead, Chromesy hiding in a corner, trying to get a little bit closer to try and challenge a gun, and you cannot find it. Trapman now realizes they're getting kind of pincered on here as well, and Seal with wide swing grabs that kill. All you need is 1 of 2. Gray, though, finds Viz.
Yeah, unfortunately, some valiant attempts here for OCCC. But I think that UAH has a good handle on how they wanted this round to go, and a good idea of how to take these engagements. Good utility, popped into good locations, and now the post plant. 1v3 once again. Seal this time against full HP bars as well. Good initial off angle, double swing. Oh my goodness, nearly got a second one there. That headshot making life scary for Gravy too, but eventually success does come. And here we are into now the gun round. OCCC win the pistol, but can't win the follow-up, and so they don't get the advantage that usually comes with the pistol victory.
Nope, it's just guns in hand. You're happy about that. Esme, though, saying precision. Oh, okay. I was going to say the judge was coming out and they're just like, I don't care about precision anymore. I'm just going to go ham. But taking a look here, I think a test that has not truly come down yet on the side of UAH Chargers. I don't think they've really tested out the C side just yet. So they are going to try and poke the bear a little bit. You can see 3 fading over to that side just to check if they can. And then 1 or 2 hiding out here on the A side. But a deep push by OCCC may get spotted out. If it does, that'll be a heavy firefight.
I have them.
A little bit of info off the back of that utility from Turret. That is a positive. And SMA spotted out, taken out. Turret, no prisoners. Turret will get them both. That's the A side actually fully wide open. A rotation coming soon from Chromesy, but Chromesy's got to be careful because they can be scaled up onto site already, and that would be devastating. Gonna toss out a dart cover just to cover off re-entry into the site itself.
I mean, you gotta be a little bit careful right there. Turret with a 3K. The player to watch in this round, single-handedly, it feels like, taking the charges further, making a 4K. Get that ace. No, Josiah takes it, but it's still a dub up. Tied is the name of the game as UAH storm ahead with 3 rounds in a row.
And what a huge momentum swinging type of round. Not only is that huge, just, you know, Turret individually, mentally, and the whole team emotionally, but on top of that, that was the OCCC gun round. That was when they needed to be able to return fire, to answer back, to stop the onslaught that UAH Blue just put together. And instead, they met Turret head on, but unfortunately, they were only getting bullets to the head.
Poison orb emitted.
And it was these types of play that I really like UAH Chargers, right? This is a squad that every so often they have a player really step up. Their aggression comes out in spades, and it's very difficult sometimes to really keep it in check. So, you know, props to OCCC holding it down 8-8, but UAH Chargers now stepping up the game. Efran seems to be online as well. So now not only do you have this chamber holding it down either on A or C, depending if you can't have that information from OCCC, but Efran is now saying they want a piece of the action. They want to start being that fragger for the team.
Grenade.
Trapman has a showstopper in his back pocket. Keeping a thought onto that. Don't know if you would want to use it on a round like this where it's an eco, but honestly, use it or lose it. There's all of that utility. Chu doing well to get a kill, then fall back away, particularly with the Stinger in hand. That can be a tough task, but does it anyway. Spike goes down. There will be post-plant, and now the Viper's Pit could get activated as well on the site, but no site presence required for UAH. They're all at mound, and they're all playing the post-plant from range.
And why not? Again, don't put yourselves in a position where you're into that short range. And I mean, it's such a danger. Instead, take the middle range. Be the perfect stopper here as a satchel denies that defusal. And I mean, this is perfect, right? There's no other way to say it. Trapman picks up a 3K, probably one of the easiest ones they've had all game long.
Yeah, I mean, I love that Trapman is there to take contact, is there to not allow for OCCC to set up for a spam battle of some sort. You know, set up for a double swing where then UAH would have been in some trouble. Instead, they just take the initial contact and then keep on rolling, continuing to take fights and be very slippery on the back of the site towards elbow.
And at this moment, this timeout, I think, is very warranted, right? You take a look at the current ult econ and you're looking at a 4-2. You're also saying, hey, this is UAH Chargers gathering a little bit too much steam. We're able to stop 3 rounds in a row. Now it feels like we can't stop any further. This 5th round could be also important. If UAH Chargers win this round, they will have 5 in a row. Not only that, they will pretty much secure the fact that you're looking down the barrel of an 11-8 scoreline. So OCCC, with guns in hand this round, need to come up with a strategy which may be, hey, just hunt down that chamber, hunt down that Viper if you can, get that kill off the board early and then work your way from there.
Yeah, I think to like continue on that point, this is the single highest important round. The round of the most importance we've seen just yet because of how big a deal it is for the OCCC side of things. Especially if they are able to stop the onslaught that UAH have put together. UAH, though, keep in mind, they still have 4 ults.
Away with you.
Oh.
Viz just
Don't
trying
even
to
need
get
it.
a forward position. And, you know, you can understand that, but unfortunately, the guiding light misses the mark, and suddenly, not blinded, Turt has a free shot.
And not just that, you're unsure if you're OCCC, if they're actually pushing this way. We hear some shots over here, and assumption is 1 or 2. Little bit of a run. No real information gathered, though, by that fade. And instead, hey, you got the kill on the far side. You know the defenses have to be a little bit rattled. And so go ahead, take a little bit of a pinch. Go ahead and ult out with that fade. Now you're looking to chase in. You gather more information on 1, and that whole backside is clear. You can go ahead and rush up. But the defender lockdown is now stalling them out. Well played by OCCC.
This is going to be a full rotation called, but speaking of rotations, no rotations allowed onto this B site because Chromesy ready to roll, and Turt with the connection. More to be found. Seal needs that find. It does just that. Gravy 2 down. It's still a man advantage for UAH on this site.
Last player standing.
Oh, and that swing feels good for UAH Chargers. They heard a couple of the footsteps and said, hey, give me that kill. Up on the top rope, Seal is wondering what just happened and gets a little bit of a tap through the wall. Turt probably going to be a bit frustrated about that death, but in this current moment, UAH Chargers hunting for the last kill, and Trapman will trap the prey. The Seal is gone. And it's 10 rounds. UAH Chargers, that all-important round that you were talking about for OCCC is now gone and past, and now you have to deal with the consequences.
It really sucks because Viz, one of the heaviest hitters for OCCC, just gets insta-dumpstered at the beginning of that round. It was trying to double blast pack up onto Rubble to get some of that control, and I think the plan off of that timeout was to gather some root control, work towards that, and once again, Turt, just a terrifying presence on that area of the map, just says, nope, see you later, bud. Try again next round.
I will talk to you later. That is what we like to say. Just I will not test that for right now. I will see you at another time. Good day, sir. We shall leave you be. At this current moment, the rest of OCCC, the team that has been aggressively pushing this A side and you know, trying to get up, even though they're on the defense, is actually stalled out because of the weaponry issue. They want to draw a close range battle, and UAH Chargers are way too wise to it.
Scout destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness as well, UAH have always been on this attack side, not tentative, that's not the right word, but careful about any traps that they would be jumping into.
Bomb grenade
Seal, not the best of HP to contend with, but hey, sure. Headshot, that's all you require. What?
Oh.
That's just not fair.
Seal's like, really? That's how I die? This is how I have a problem? Turt now gaining even more information by clearing out these corners. The boombot coming around the corner should give way to the Rays in the top side. But Chromesy says, not today. What an entry by OCCC. They fly in like absolute moss and say, give us your lives. UAH Chargers were not ready for it. And they lose everyone but Ephraim is going to try their best inside of the Viper Spit. You don't have a choice, and the only time here, you can't even do that. The poison was set in advance, and Chu predicting the Star Walker. They are down, and it's 9-10. OCCC get their round on the board.
Yeah, I mean, just an individual moment to be sure. Chromesy doing some great work there, and Chu, you know, good anticipation late into that with utility as well. Got to give Esme some credit getting the confirmation on the guiding light on where the final member of the offense was located. Finally, OCCC, they're back in business. Only their second round victory in this half, and it's been bookended by five devastating UAH rounds. But here can be the turning of the tables.
And the Calm Cool collection of UAH is going to try and use this tour to force the peak efficiency. If you get that first frag, you know, that careful frag, you're in perfect position. So don't need to give any information away. You're not pushing up. You don't need that spike right away in your hand. Instead, you collect both orbs and you walk your way out. The fact that OCCC are trying to shake things up and put a mass usage of KJ util down, it does lend itself to that factor of we are expecting something else. However, with the pop, you got to rotate some members back over to help.
Investigations across the board have netted a lot of map control here for UAH. Now, that guiding light did give us some information just a moment ago that they still see related players out in the open. Prowler Gives a bit of a guarantee. In the meanwhile, the A side of the map is now open for business as Turret delivers what feels like the 5th opening frag of this half.
Oh, and I mean,
30
they cleared out A
seconds
side, but unfortunately with time, I think they're just choosing to go B, which, I mean, hasn't been fully cleared on the back end. Instead, Trapman is actually going to get launched, barely bounces up to safety, but they're 31 HP. Turt instead gets called on the rotate and will lose their life because of this. OCCC have a chance to flank in. If they can wait it out, that's great. After the fight goes up, Chromesy is going to try and walk the way in, barely survives as well, and says, holy crap, I lived with my life, thank God. UAH Chargers now packing this corner side. Chromesy able to take one. Josiah and Gray, though, take one apiece. And Josiah was ready with the headshot. 3 in a row. Leaves OCCC devastated. And Esme has no idea where to look. It is 11 rounds. UAH Chargers that they just need 2 more.
What an incredible adjustment from Josiah on that aim. I mean, was walking through a smoke, entirely unaware of the situation, and instantly gets the headshot, then turns on a dime, ready for Chromesy to walk through the doorway. It's what UAH needed. That is, I think, round-winning material from the likes of Josiah on the Viper. OCCC back in trouble. I mean, they haven't been able to get out of trouble for very much of this half, unfortunately. Trouble sort of finds them. But sometimes that do be the way it goes, and OCCC got to deal with it as it is given.
You know, a wise man once said, "It is what it is," and I live by those words in more ways than one. At this moment, though, for OCCC, they are just battling the fact that they are not further down, and that their first half has been able to kind of shield them from a lot of what could happen after a 3 to 4 round run. I mean, you can still fight back. However, this round, not so much. You have very low utility, and UAH Chargers are taking no chances. Don't walk into a surefire death corner. Don't allow that short range to be used to max efficiency. And just try and wait it out. Of course, the time I'm winding down a little bit further than I personally would like before choosing an actual site. Chu, though, realizing there's at least 2. A little bit of poison goes out. You are flushed out of the corner, and Turt with a perfect crouch takes out Chu.
Not the look, not the start that OCCC were hoping for.
30 seconds
And
left.
this is going to make things even worse for Ware. 12 could be on the cards for UAH, excuse me, as they could look to get this fight down. Rotation's already in. Chromesy there already, but he's dead, done and dusted as Viz falls. OCCC on just the Sheriff left in their back pocket. Now nothing there as a flawless round against the Eco. UAH Blue
Match
have
point.
12.
I mean, honestly, I think that round speaks volumes to the UAH Chargers, right? They can get aggressive if they wish. We've seen some fast rounds out of them here on the attack and even on the defense, but when it comes to pass, they are a surgical team. That entire round felt very methodical, right? Take the moments, clear out the corners. Hey, we know where the opponent is. Let's take them out one by one. Don't take any chances. Double swing at points, really ensuring that every backside of UAH is covered. Of course, this time around, you're not walking into pistols, you're walking into full guns. But if you're able to surgically remove key players, especially just some of those gamble peaks by OCCC, you got yourself a game, and you can move on to game 2 with a win under your belt.
We'll see if that win continues to pick up, because UAH, what an incredible run of form that they have been currently putting together. Interrupted, yes, by that one OCCC round, but thinking about heading out to the C side by the look of things. There's currently 2 players defending that, opening the door at B to peek in. Anybody home? Not really. Just Chromesy there as a bit of a rotator hanging out for the minute.
With that nanoswarm pop,
Found them.
are you actually getting it? Seal's hunting for it.
I mean, Chu taking a lot of presence away. Showstopper is out. Trapman, though, worried very much about Chu. Does go down. Seal, tap times 2, and gets them
30
both.
seconds left.
Headshots galore. A single bullet left in the chamber, but Seal can pop right back in to this Viper's Pit. And though it is going to decay them a whole lot, they are in
Last
position
player
to just get
standing.
one shot, and that's all they
Oh.
need.
There's one more. Josiah's praying, but there's no time to get the plant. You are just praying for a chance, and no, Seal. The Seal fights back. The angry button takes one away. Stolen away by a judge in court. OCCC still alive. Yes, it's a long road ahead of them. It's pretty much a buyout consistently from UAH, but what a well-played round from Seal through the Viper's pit. I might add, that is not an easy feat to pull off.
No, not at all. And Seal, I mean, by the way, that is the nerfed gun, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
It's nerfed. Still very much viable at that range. You know, basically right beside you. But when you can sit in a corner and play it that way, props to Seal for getting it there and taking it over the edge to a victory. Now that's a Viper's Orb just to allow cross, to allow passage to a couple of players here, and the offense is just creeping up. Look at this. UAH, they've essentially given no indication that they're here, and now they have a Nightfall.
Oh, so good. And again, UAH Chargers say, hey, we are going to get this perfectly. Josiah coming up beside Esme and surprising them as well. When sound is gone, UAH Chargers will rule the field. It's happened time and time again. It's all down to the last two of OCCC. You can make a miracle happen, that's great, but gotta be a big one. In goes the lockdown once again. Seal, the savior of the previous round, trying to do it once again. Gotta get one, looking for another. Turt was out in the open. OCCC, though, sitting inside of a little bit of smoke. Chu saying, where is everyone? Can I get one more kill?
I mean, the spike is starting to tick down with that lockdown destroyed. There's not the space that they were hoping to create. Into the crosshairs runs True as Trapman takes them out. Seal will at least get one more, but there's so much utility. It's all over for OCCC.
Denial.
So, the defense for OCCC, they get the preferable start, as this is not their map pick this time. I've seen some real strong attack sides, though, actually, on Split as of recent. Believe it or not. Let's see if that continues. Turt to lead the charge, maybe. He's got Trapman in tow. And Viz on the other side has now called over rotations aplenty. The Trailblazer coming forward. Mid rotates being held as well by UAH. We'll see if this A site take continues or if it's going to be a rotation out towards mid. And indeed, it looks like Turt is thinking just that.
It's the test, right? Clear out the corners, make sure that you get some kills before entering in. And there was some gunfire laid down earlier in mid, so I understand this look in the mail. That's going to be a blind goes out. Turt realizing that, hey, a little bit late. Maybe they were cheating to go a little bit further. Ghost goes out to fire away, and Shu tried to bring out the util, trying to bring out the poison, but it doesn't work. Instead, you get run down.
That's bad news bears right there. Sometimes it's the no-nade zone, right? No utility whatsoever. Gotta take the gunfights. Chromesy looking to force one of those, and Viz working from the back lane there, able to win towards A. Trying to make some moves as it's an equalizer at the very least. Hurt looking two directions as the spike goes down.
And OCCC really need to be careful of their backside. Take a look at that alert coming up from the KJ. Said Chromesy might be worried about their own edge, but Seal ready with the pop fire. Great classic left clicks. Now looking to hunt down a few more. Seal drops a few more members, and now it's just Trapman in the top side, trapped in their own accord. Because they're alone, they drop down. Can't find more than a tap. And Chromesy will take that dub. 3 left alive for OCCC.
Hard to isolate some fights there once you got to the post plant for UAH, and then when they did, they didn't win them. Turt going down up top without much of a problem whatsoever from OCCC, and beyond that, the side players, they couldn't set up any sort of crossfire. You know, get back site maybe and try to find somebody towards main. You know, try to get into B main, for example. That would have been a great crossfire. The problem is that all of Heaven was already retaken by that point by OCCC, and there was no way to escape. So both players stuck pillar, quick and easy. As we see UAH fall in the pistol. OCCC with their strong start.
UAH expecting a little bit of a push to come out here, laying themselves up in mid, waiting for hopefully a single member to come around, but not really finding it. OCCC more than content to kind of hang out a little bit further away, and the initial contact coming out here in garage. Okay, don't want to test that one. Let's go ahead and wait it out a little bit longer. Maybe we can bait them out. But OCCC getting the information saying from that A side heaven, we've locked down at least one player, the KJ turret, giving notice.
Lurking up mid as well. We'll see if Turret makes any contact. Is seemingly wanting to take a gunfight. Does spot one out. That's Viz. And a bit of an off angle. And, well, Viz, Chu swinging off of each other. Collect both of the kills that were available out mid. The B push doesn't work. One man already dead. Esme to deliver another as she gets a additional attempt there. Efran will at least grab one frag. The plan there, not to get a kill, but just to get the cross. A spike plant would be ideal, but that seems maybe a little bit too far-fetched.
I absolutely love Efran for that, by the way. I love the hard sprint from Garage. Just like, I know this ain't gonna work. Maybe I get lucky,
The
but
definition of covering fire.
when you gotta throw down your own covering fire, by the way,
Bullets
that's what
downrange. You know, if they're shooting at me, they'll run. Or if I'm shooting at them, they'll run away.
Yeah, it's just one of those funny moments, but very well appreciated. UAH, they tried their best, couldn't really make it happen, and I mean, OCCC, their patience paid off, right? A little bit of a catch in Turt and mid gave them that value pick, and now they can try and do it again. However, UAH should be a little bit more comfortable. Again, with guns in hand, this makes them much more deadly, and especially on their map pick, I assume they feel even more confident than before on Lotus to take some of these odd gun duels.
We'll see. Nebula goes down the Toxic Orb to follow that. Turret in that same, I mean, this is literally the same exact situation, and it's the same outcome. Viz delivering the frag over Turret. A little wild on the spray, and a rare miss from Turret. This time with the rifle, not an operator, though.
What an interesting situation to occur. Maybe it felt like Dirt was trying to make up for before, but I don't know if that was really necessary. And now you put your team into a dire situation. Losing that jet, losing that duelist is causing some problems, and now you have to be extremely careful. You take a ping, and Chu is allowed an opportunity to get a kill. That is disaster, in my opinion. Now you flood into the site with 3, but you're not exactly sure how you want to defend against this. Esme gets information on the left side, says someone's in the back corner, but Josiah in the far back corner says my corner is better. Seal is only able to grab one. It's down to a 2v2.
Those are massive kills. Fine. Equalizers after that error, not checking the corner. UAH, they needed something to go their way, and they find it. Now they've doubled up. This is interesting. Not the expectation that I would think for OCCC, and they're looking for it. They don't know where these players are located. Now they do. The double up, trying to play the anti-flash, and so sad. Chromes, he gets them both. That was ambitious from UAH, but a good call, I think, unfortunately, doesn't turn out in their favor.
Remember, Chromesy in game number 1 may not have been at the top of the leaderboard, but for OCCC was still hammering a nice 17 frags. And some of the impact frags that came out of Chromesy were just so much fun to watch, right?
The first half was Chromesy's, essentially. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a battle between actually Chromesy and Efran, funny enough, in the first 10 rounds.
It was so much fun. And Chromesy coming out here with a dub really gives OCCC, we said we needed some sort of spice to really kick them back into gear. And this is it. Have a standout player and have someone that is confident to take the swings. Even in this round, UAH are going to fall to here unless they get crazy in their own right. But, I mean, you're on a save, so for OCCC, the best possible outcome right now has occurred. You have the opportunity to make a run for it, rack up close to 4 to 6 rounds. It's a crazy possible opportunity for yourselves if you can get yourselves to not go too far ahead, right? Don't get too antsy on some of these.
UAH hoping for a spike plant here. They've successfully made their way out onto a site to a certain degree, but the problem is, Esme, that timing that is going to get you. She goes down with a bird in hand, but Chu there to clean up the pieces. No plant, and only one loss for OCCC. That's a successful anti-eco. UAH yet to find success in their map pick. Granted, on the attack side, but still a bit of a surprise after the domination that they put together on their own attack for Lotus.
That'll work.
I really think Turk got a little bit overconfident there in the third round, and that's kind of causes falter. So I expect them to bounce back. I expect UAH to be able to bounce back, have a little bit of a slowdown, say, hey, don't get too crazy, play our game, play clinical, play surgical. There's plenty of Valorant left to play here. We're also up 1. You can't afford to give up a little bit more. It's not optimal, of course, but you know, if this goes down, it's not the worst thing in the world. But don't get too crazy. Know that you'll have the opportunity, and Trapman had the chance and still loses out. That was a clip. Half a clip emptied into the wall, and then half the clip into Viz, and still not able to get that kill.
Yeah, Viz was caught dead to right, still comes away successful, and Esme, she does a great job to find a kill in that fray. 3v4, HP low for one more, and that is going to cut the deficit to an equalizer. Seal forward. Spike will go down, but Gravy 2 can't find it. Seal 1 for 1, and yet again, UAH doing a great job of keeping these numbers equivalent.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, at the same time, OCCC is feeling better and better. Chromesy once again come out with a very important frag, but now needs the important frag. It's a small duel.
I love that.
We check. Oh, Chromesy. Oh, the division coming out as well. This is going to force a hand-to-hand combat, and you're in the pocket. Oh, Chromesy. Chromesy might have shown his shoulder, and you're seeing Josiah with a 4K information granted in the 1v1 duel. Josiah grabs the first round for UAH Chargers.
Great work from Josiah. I mean, individually, just getting all the trade frags. Actually, that's what that 4K was made of, was trading kills onto the site, and then a brilliant little 1v2 clutch at the end. I think technically a 1v2, but the 1v1 is the coup de grace. Really fantastic work, outbraining his opposition just by being a little bit patient. Sometimes you get too far forward in that 1v1 whenever the Cosmic Divide goes down, and you're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I have to check, have to be sure, and that's what'll give you away.
Let's see if OCCC let that last round get to their head or not. They're still up by a good slew.
Swarm grenade out.
You still have the weapons in hand, so for right now, it's not the end of the world. Trapman, though,
Got your trail. Grenade.
needs to go ahead and check that corner, but it is going to be stopped. Great shell, forcing Turt to jump forward. And Turt, this time the aggression works in your favor. You know one more is there. A little bit of an orange block out view, but look at that. Turt with the 2K, making up for the previous mistake. And now the high ground is theirs, but Chromesy still lights them up. You're able to take 2 more, but well done by UAH. Forced into a fight or flight. They take the fight and take the second.
Yeah, clearly OCCC not ready for that aggressive dash forward into the smoke. How could you be with the Cosmic Divide down as well? Turret finally finding that high impact momentum that we were seeing back on Lotus, and this is what we've been looking for. UAH now starting to put together some momentum, but, and there is a but here, and that is that OCCC still have a bye, and there is a judge there for Chu. Best map for a judge by far, and he's over in male.
Oh, and I mean that is one of the favorite spots to hold. Of course, everyone knows it. And for the side of UAH Chargers, I'm sure they have a feeling, right? They should have that little identification marker. If not, it's gonna be its own level of hell, and you can't let that happen. Chu wondering what happens. Another peek by Turt again. This aggression, that first one that happened in round 3, is now going to be a chance, but Chu was more than ready for Trapman. Trapman realizing that they had the information granted. Chu trying to get away as quick as possible, but snuffed out as quickly as that pit is dropped. Turt again, the aggression, the level-headedness, the confidence of the Jet, saying, I was a playmaker in game 1, and I'll do it here in game 2. 3K so far. Looking for another as they clear out this garage. Turt with a 4K, make it an ace seal. Give it to him as much as possible. Around the corner they go. Turt with the ace to put UAH 1 behind.
Wow, Turt slow to begin with. A couple of shaky shots there in round 2, round 3. But by round 7, it's all back and they're ready for business. Quick and simple. Turt with the ace indeed. And now leading the charge for UAH. This is incredible work, and the Bladestorm now available as well. A reset to the economy of OCCC. They're on a, I mean, it's mostly a save. One person's invested pretty heavily. Only 450 credits left in their pocket, but it is not nothing that OCCC have. They have, you know, a couple of shotguns, some SMGs as well. It's certainly a well-defended eco round, if that does exist.
I mean, I've seen some teams that do well on ecos. I've seen some teams that do nasty work on ecos, but they are, as you said, by and far between. We are getting what looks to be one of the very rare A-side hits for UAH. They've attempted this in the past, of course. They have looked to try and gather up here, but usually it's been to rotate straight through mid and into that B side. Instead, it's going to be that commit. You can see 4 floating over and just that Cypher right there. Tripwire's immediately taking down Turt, trying to rush their way forward and not really getting information. They finally find Seal, and it's so well done again. Turt leading the charge time and time again, but Chromesy ready with a running gun, looking for another head, gets it, and that's going to be a 2K. Turt, though, finds Chromesy and ends that possible lifespan. Turt looking on this outside, gets a third, reloads very quickly, and is ready to find Chu, and Chu so willingly decides.
Such an absurd swing there, swinging with 2 bullets
Oh
out,
my
and
gosh.
Chu their crosshair. Turt comes back for more. Ace times 2. Oh, that could be the case. The guiding light connects into Turt's eyes, but Esme, she's got multiple directions to look. The ace,
oh my gosh,
almost there.
Give it.
Singer in there. Turt has the ace. Is second in a row. Absurd scenes in map number 2. That's all they need is for Turt to hit 5 times 2.
Is it a turkey at that point if you get a third?
It has to be.
Is it a?
I'm down for bowling rules.
Yeah, like what else would we call it? Because at this one, I'm expecting Turt to pull it off, right?
Well,
like
I mean,
I
it
hate
could just be
saying
a
that.
3-peat. You know what I mean?
Okay. Like, that is crazy. You go from 2 kills to 10 in a
2
blink of
rounds.
an eye. Like, that is crazy to me. Oh my god. If we hadn't seen.
In the purest sense, momentum is swinging, and that is in the direction of UAH by a country mile. Crazy scenes, back-to-back aces for Turt, who seems to be unaffected, just doing his thing.
I love it. At this point, though, I do agree with the fact that maybe you can't press as hard. I think you get away with that once or twice, and in those 2, you made a lot of work. But OCCC realizing that they can't allow this mid to be left alone, right? Turt has become too much of a problem, and probability is that A-side hit is not going to come through right away like it did before. Instead, check this mid, go ahead and hold it, and stay further back. I like this call, but Turt is still so deadly with that aim. Chu is taken out, Mail is now open, and you get to push up into B side top, and I mean, Ephraim was ready, but Viz gets the rebuttal, and it's going to be Gray B2 down. Turt still finding ones on the off angle while Ephraim clears out top. And it's still all for UAH. You said momentum is there. At this point, you got the whole dang swing. You got the whole dang ride to yourself. Esme can't do much but fall as Trapman gets the headshot.
From a 4-round deficit to begin this half to a 1-round lead, now 5 rounds later, no stops were made. This train, it's one direction, and one direction only, non-stop travel straight to Victory Town at the moment for UAH. That is if they can continue. Ooh, a little bit lackluster in the buys here for OCCC. They've got a Guardian, and listen, I know some people love it, but not the best of weapons to have at all times. That'll be set up here in mailroom for Chu. Good position to have a Guardian.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they did this last time, and again, they are aware of the one tap of Turt, and I think that's why Chromesy is also backing away before held that inner room. And this time away, giving it. God, that's the 3rd time. Chu, I realize you want to try and take that gun duel, but at this point, you are 0 for 3. It's not going to work. I think you got to give it a bit more space.
You say that, but like the first 4 rounds, it was fun. It was fantastic. It was
true,
great.
true.
Things were going well. So, I mean, in their mind, hey, listen, things could have changed. This round could be different. Each round is a new opportunity. Speaking of which, Trapman
Finished.
freebie
Oh.
right in the back of SMA. Now up the ladder. Certainly Viz not going to lose his life there, but this is a wide open A site. Well, maybe not so wide. Seal's still back at the site.
I mean, but they're in a tight corner. I mean, Ephraim just shooting
Bruh.
fish in a barrel.
Bruh.
Oh, Turt. Oh, Turt. I don't know what else to say, right? Like, here's the thing, and I agree. Yeah, 4 rounds at the beginning is there, but you got to remember 2 of them. I mean, the first 2, I don't really call rounds. As much as we want to call them rounds, it was a pistol into the secondary, right? Like,
Here.
those are its own little microcosm.
Okay.
You have to take a look at the other 2, and yes, they won that 3rd, but it was off of a mistake. You got that kill on the Turt, and you had a great time. After that, as soon as another gun round came by, Turt was ready. Like, Turt was on one at that point, and after that, again, the team that adjusts the quickest is going to be the winner. OCCC has still not adjusted to the fact that they are losing that mid.
That's unfortunate. SMA with the guiding light for it. It was supposed to be some information gained. Unfortunately, it looked to me like someone got blinded who was meant to be going forward. So the info, yeah, it was Chromesy who did, wasn't quite as they would have hoped. This is an eco round, keeping in mind OCCC lacking the money to fully invest. They have the pistolas out in the sheriffs, but UAH starting to slow things down a bit. We're approaching the 1 minute mark of this round, and Orbital, there's just some mid control, some A control, some B control. That's the standard.
And I mean, that's actually a plus for OCCC. They actually haven't had this much control, this even control in a while, right? They've always lost someone by about, I want to say about 30 seconds into the round. So at this point,
Right
they
there.
feel a lot better about the current standing. The problem is the rush is about to come, and you have to be ready for it. And this time it works. Chromesy is the one to make it happen, and then the paint shells come out. What a denial. They have finally stopped this
30 seconds
over-aggressive jet, and all of a sudden UAH Chargers are left floundering.
Rotation starting to come in out towards mid. They're going to rotate through into Zips, and oh boy, no gun out there for Gravy too, and Seals hit them all. Oh my goodness, incredible work from OCCC.
Last round before
Seal
the switch.
doing the sealing of the deal there, an eco win.
I mean, we said it, right? Turt feels like that starting point. If Turt goes down, the rest of UAH falter, and I mean that was one of those moments, right? Granted, it doesn't take away from the fact that it was a run of 6. UAH pretty much solidified their half already, and it's OCCC trying to keep pace. In this instance, though, well done by both ends. OCCC looking to try and spread a little bit thinner, and
Blinded.
with UAH changing the system up, putting that jet closer over towards that A site, ready to run down that cipher once again, maybe get a surprise factor.
Guiding light is going to catch things. Gravy too, though. It's a nice shot. Chromes through the Nebula will hit the first, but Seal down over an A, and look at all the space
want
that
to
has
find
given
it.
over. They know where Chromesy is located, and as the Cosmic Divide comes down, Chromesy, no, somewhat isolated, still wins the duel.
I mean, and now it's Turt's turn. What else are we gonna say about this, right? Cosmic Divides both go up, and Turt's just like, hey, free fire, let's corners and check. Pistols out, and you still get it! Turt says, I don't care, give me that 19 bomb. I need 1 more to hit the 20, and 11 more to hit the 30.
19-6 in the first half. What an absurd scoreline for a single individual over the first 12 rounds. 7-5 is the score, though, and with a slight advantage, UAH take their
Placing sentry.
time into the better of the two sides with a lead that they didn't have back on Lotus. They were still able to win out.
Mm-hmm. And
That was
in
on
this,
the attack.
I know, I'm looking at this now in OCCC. I'm like, you gotta pull some magic out right now. You have no idea where Turt is going to be. That mid seems to be their home, but the trade of birds is to start things off. I do expect UAH to rotate Turt around as much as possible, try and keep OCCC on their toes. And for right now, this mid control, the OCCC are going to test it, right? Last time they got tested, they are going to do the testing, and it works. Double swing gives Esme that kill on the turret, and now they get to expand outwards. If they choose to go to B, if they choose to go to A, the world is kind of their oyster at this point.
Does feel like, you know, you take turret down and things do get a little bit easier, as respectable and as well as the rest of the UAH players are playing. You got to respect that 19-6 score line a little bit more. The unsure approach here for OCCC. It doesn't seem to be clear where they're looking for, trying to gather any re-aggression, any direction. Maybe two, dodging on the first of that utility, but goes down after just the one.
I mean, that was probably the best of the situation that you can
30
make, and
seconds
now
left.
you gotta worry about this UAH losing ground in this B site, instead looking for that re-engage, that retake value.
Spike
Two on the
planted.
top side, spotting one in garage. Now Trapman gonna hunt out in mid, make sure no one's trying to gather up behind them. Let's say there is one.
Turret out.
Turret going to alert, the sentry gonna do its job. What can the Chargers do though? That corner hosts two. They're not careful, they will be spotted. Checking every corner, so they have at least flooded through. That's going to be a tap, though. Esme reading it well. 3K there. Bird goes out. Seal able to follow up, thankfully. And OCCC will lose no one else. The opening pistol once again.
Esme and Seal, a phenomenal round. The both of them picking up 3 for Esme, 2 for Seal, who was closing things out as per usual. Seal really does seem like that round-ending presence for OCCC. And Esme with some fantastic work in the mid-round, ready for those mistimed or oddly timed swings, even despite having some utility out on that mid-push. So, well played indeed, UAH. What do they have to offer? This is a bit of an investment. I saw Marshall somewhere on someone. I think Turt has that in zips, if I'm not mistaken.
Grenade.
Ephraim now getting checked out, and again, as we said, the rotation coming out, just trying to find out all the games that they want to play. UAH testing the waters, but OCCC is still kind of stuck in the situation of the default. And I mean, last time it worked to a pretty decent extent, but Ephraim is more than willing to take this shot. I believe this is the first Marshall, the first long range that we've actually seen all series long, so the surprise factor is there, but it only grabs one. Viz says, no more of that, you will not play with it. Now Turt comes around with their own and says, hey, I'll grab your Marshall and play it too. Chu finds Trapman off on the edge, and now it's a flood in the mail, pushing as hard as you can. 2v1. Gray's got it ready, but a great shot works, and Turt and Gray hold it down to put it to a 2v2.
It's a free gun, by the way. That right click absurd as per usual. Out to the A site, though, cleared and open by this Viper. Gray going to make their way forward. Chu is on the other side, already fully taking control of the screens. The post-plant situation, slow and steady for UAH. They've already done a pretty good job of doing damage in this eco round. And if they could get anything more done, this would be such a massive success. But the time that they're taking here is time they don't have.
Last player standing.
But maybe they do.
Saya. I mean, Crumsy's got a great lineup, I think. They're both flooding into the same angle. And
Oh, and they have it all.
yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a pull into death. And there it is, number one. I mean, you can just wait it out, right? You don't even have to worry too much. Well done by
Player
Crumsy.
standing. Clutch.
Very, very simple. And the slate is pretty much wiped clean, right? This is, I think, a big dub for OCCC. They say, hey, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and zero ourselves out. We get to play with a little extra behind, but
I should probably play some stars.
fun job by UAH to make that very close.
Yeah, I mean, UAH, they were playing with house money that they had recovered in the first half. Now no longer able to do that, but got to put the real thing on the line. And well, the good news is this is not really a bonus at all for OCCC. They have invested everything. I like this call. I think it's the right call, actually. I wish more teams would do this, where, you know, if you lose so many players in that round, in your eco round, hey, just go for the buy. There's no point in giving them a free round where you're buying like sheriffs and then you buy again. take the eco now or take it later?
See?
That's just not fair. That dog
hardly
was
seems fair.
not. That dog like had the longest neck.
Just
Need
right.
back.
Hey, how you doing? Just what you doing over here? Taking a look here, the wall is going to fall for a little bit, and OCCC are going to look to push their advances. Keep in mind on the far end, Chu gets taken out, and Turt is spotted. Because of that, maybe it gives OCCC a little bit of information, a little bit of confidence. While going back up, Josiah says, hey, I got them out, and Gravy too, after switching positions, finds that headshot. Viz slowed down, and the initial push from OCCC now has to back away. Caught in this kind of interim, with only 30 seconds left, UAH have put a very hard mark on the OCCC.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, the time constraints certainly are starting to feel problematic for the OCCC. But the good news is that they can go either direction. They just got to make a decision quick. They're running out of time to make that decision, and they aren't making a decision. The decision is not to go
10
anywhere.
seconds left.
Just hang on to these rifles. Try again in the next round, and you know what? It's a valid decision in my humble opinion. I said in the last round, I like that OCCC made the call. Hey, we're just gonna go for a buy and hope we win it. Well, they didn't win it, so they're gonna try again next round with a decent enough purchase, minus a couple of those rifles that Viz and Chu won't be in a position to rebuy.
I mean, they were able to. Yeah, Viz is the only one that's going to be sitting on low end. But you know the util is going to be hurting here, right? Not much they can do about that. But for UAH, I wonder if they're going to get a little bit chancy with this so far. The good eyes and reading on Turt has kind of followed them around. They haven't had as much impact as they probably would have liked in the last 3 rounds. Only 2 kills across 3. So in this 4th, maybe once again they get a little bit spicy. They try and challenge and even try and jump through some of these just to get an advantage. But at the current moment, hold it down as slow as possible. Star drops at their feet, and Turt wants this angle. Great hold, says 1. Now moving forward, looking for a second, can't find it, but sees 2.
Good job getting out of there. Turt needed to not commit such that he went down after that initial pick, because OCCC have some support as well, and they have a 4v4. Trailblazer looking for Esme, but she's evacuated the area through sewer and back over to A. That is where the majority of the defending utility was, but now without the KJ, it's not a problem. Efren on the site is going to be, but only gets the 1, losing track of the Bulldog spray. 3-on-3 activated, and Orbital. We'll see OCCC and their post plant once again.
I mean, this is where UAH, I think, excel, though. Their re-entries have been great. They've been able to file in as a team. Problem this time is you're not really going to find any split members. All 3 kind of huddled up in the back for OCCC. They're getting blinded out, though, and spotted. This might make it even easier. Go ahead, get around, though. Chu with the great spray finds great HP, too. Low HP on Chu, though, and Esme sitting them out 75. Gonna be a problem on either end. Great shot by Turk, number 1, and with that ping forces Esme out. They gotta get that plant. They gotta get that defusal down. Josiah sees it and is now gonna bait out time. Sees them and looks and hits. It'll be the finish coming out for UAH. As I said, their retakes are so good.
Unfortunately, Esme just that was not a particularly winnable round either for her. Like, she was at 5 HP, I think, when it was procced into a 1v2. Just not ideal. And the crossfire that UAH had already set up when the spike actually went down, OCCC could never get into post plants. You mentioned how they were so stuck in the site itself, all grouped up. That's because UAH were already closed in and held the retreat for anybody who was trying to get out of there. Fantastic work, good intentionality from the positions from UAH, not to fight on the site, but to wait for the post plant and disallow OCCC.
Toxins going up.
At this point, OCCC are left wondering. A lot of their advances, they made their way in, but the second half, trying to get their way out, and now they are cornered themselves. They did this last time to Turt, and getting their own kind of situation thrown back at them has them in a little bit of a kerfuffle. They don't want to move from here. They want to keep trying to press forward, and they're going to wait it out. I'm going to say they can only do so much. Poison back in their own. No one flushed out of the left corner, so they know there's one to the right. The Viper should be holding this doorway. Who is going to check, though? So many short-range weapons.
This is some hard-fought space. I mean, They close the distance very well. Josiah, though, hitting the shot, and there is a boatload of utility. The best gravity well I've seen in a while. Incredible work from Efran, spraying them all down. They were all stuck, dead to rights.
The world, the universe is collapsing in on them at that point. And granted, it was one that they knew was going to be hard fought, but it still looked pretty rough for OCCC. UAH do not lose a single member. They get to pad their wallets a little bit more, and they are again here at the cusp of just 3 rounds from the match victory. You're going to look there, Turt as well. We did say, hey, Turt's good, but it feels like they are the mainstay player for the rest of the team. Come around, the rest of the team has started to step up in this second half, and I mean, now they'll definitely have to, as again, a gravity wall grabs another trap man, trapped in a trap of their own.
Great work there from Viz. Showstopper out. That's not going to connect to anyone just yet, but honestly, UAH are already in trouble. Post plant, it's a 5-on-3 with so much space gathered inside of Heaven here. They've got ramp control, they've got zip control. This is over.
Without a star, I cannot.
I mean, there's a, you know, I always say there's hope, but I do agree that hope is looking pretty dang grim. It is a thread at all, but that's going to be a blind. Great. B2 can't do too much, but Ethan is able to follow up. 2v4, though. This is still very difficult.
I wouldn't hate to see them walk away from this with some guns in hands. Josiah looks to just try and, you know, grab a couple of exits. All vulnerable, but none down. Josiah will fall to the spike, and, well, great round from OCCC. A little bit overzealous. Turt had support, but still goes down, as does his supporting cast. UAH, they still had plenty to buy this round, but they've finally been stopped a little bit. That run of 3 rounds denied.
I think that was just well played by OCCC. They realized they were taking a little bit too much time, giving way for UAH to be able to rotate, be able to cover each other. They just pushed. You saw it there. They just kind of rushed. They said, screw it. We'll see what we can get. And it worked out. A great little shift in pace granted them this favor. And now they get to try and mount a comeback of their own. Seekers go out. Great start here. And all the boombots in the world. So, again, this fast-paced action will deny UAH a chance to cluster in and get early frags. Instead, they'll look for the retake once again.
Yeah, but the key difference here is that they're actually playing retake. They're not allowing themselves to get taken out early. It was an impossible 3v5 last time. Now it's a 5v5. This is very much a legitimate chance at success.
Oh, well, not anymore, I think. Viz got some of the most important frags. Trapman, though, fires back as he's a 1 for 2, but still, the ground team is denied. Now 2 more sprint off for OCCC into that garage without a shred of information for UAH, and UAH have to be worried. That is going to be the poison to lay out. That Turd is going to spot them out. Esme, though, finds Turd, and Seal finds the other. Well played by OCCC. Trapman needs to pull off the impossible, and the impossible is truly impossible. That will be a second for OCCC in a row, looking to try and tie things back up.
And once again, it's Viz to do the damage. I mean, Viz, I think consistently, even back on map number 1, we didn't get to talk too much about them, but was consistently one of the players to open the door for OCCC to get opportunities to win rounds. We just didn't get to talk about it as much because it's not quite as flashy as what Turt is doing. I mean, just the utter absurd, like, aim skill that Turt's putting together has been there. But Viz's timings on rotations and getting out onto sites is really good. His great idea of where the blast packs can be utilized at their best.
Scout destroyed.
We're going to have to need that to happen again as we do get a little bit of a chase forward. Esme going to be that first head through that door. It's a 5-stack. They are willing to commit so much to this, or at least for the time being. A little bit of shell to try and bait out some shots. Not going to happen. That's going to give time for the rest of UAH to try and gather up through middle. You can see there cheat through. Hey, is anyone in mid? No. Very quiet on the rest side of the map. And there it is. Good little call out. Great information. Hey, great. Says they are here.
Yeah, that Trailblazer getting some key info for sure on that one. Still a crossfire set. And as you mentioned, all 5 heading that way, but are they going to check Josiah? Not a chance in the gravity well. Are 3 more, and Gravy 2 connects the 2 frags required, spawning out the final man. It's up to Chromesy, who is down and out on the 3K from Gray.
It was patience versus patience, and OCCC lost out in that fight. UAH with a great snuff of what could have been a run, denying OCCC the chance to really fight back. Guns are still up, a little bit of light armor on their side, but enough to try and do some damage. If they lose here, is going to be pretty much in the dumps, and another bargain been by. So for OCCC, this is a round that they must win. They want to give themselves the best chance at pushing to a game 3.
Indeed. OCCC, they've recognized that, sticking together in, trying to trade effectively, that's been their bread and butter. That's been what's successful for them, so they're sticking with that. They have one lurk out elsewhere. The main 4 heading in the same direction out towards the B site. Snakebite will stop that onslaught for the moment, and now UAH can take a minute to try and gather some information. There's still a Trailblazer there in Gray's hands, and that's going to head in momentarily by the looks of it.
Time to hunt.
Hunt is on. They find the corner. They didn't check the corners, so Viz hoping for an opportunity. Saying they didn't spot me. They didn't spot me. Probably a good thing. Everyone, fall back from garage. OCCC don't want to push their luck any further. They know this round is important. For UAH, I think with all ults up, they're more than willing to just kind of sit here and wait it out. Even Turt is so far back, so unaccustomedly, right? Like, has always been at the front lines. Instead, this time, hiding out in the top rung, saying, we can't afford to make too big of a mistake, especially with his aggression. Gray, though, with the blind fire, gathers so much information, so many frags behind.
Gray has had an incredible couple of rounds. Those Seekers timed to perfection. Guiding Light doesn't make the mark, but Seekers are still good, and Gray's even better. One more to find. It's Chu, who's still on the site. Seal there with them, and dead on both counts. OCCC, same situation. 9-12 the scoreline, and they need 3 in a row for overtime.
They need 3 rounds, the low budget buy, and no ults. There is rough final rounds to be in, and then there's this. Like, I hate saying that, but you're looking at low-end purchases. I expect some sort of crazy kind of setup. I wouldn't be too upset at a rush. Just, you got to do something to surprise here because the util's not in your favor. Neither is the weaponry. So give it your best shot right now. OCCC, try and show up here.
Here we go. Facility out mid for OCCC. They've got a boatload of players there as well. Gonna have to pull off a bit of a miracle. Brainstorm out for Turret. Where did that first blade go? But Turret gets the second. Tapped by Utility. They're gonna head through mailroom.
Oh, wow, that's going to be a blind, but Chromesy said, nah, don't even worry about how hard spray and pray. The knives go up again, and Esme shuts him down with a headshot tap. The Viper Spit over there on B is denying OCCC. But again, they have the opportunity. They could wait it out. They still have that upper ring through the heavens, and maybe they can. Instead, they're going to look through a little bit of this lower side, say, hey, let's go ahead and fold our way into this A site, maybe catch one of the defenders alone and put ourselves into a 2v1.
Yeah, Trapman is the lone defender here. Just trying to get confirmation that nobody had headed through
30 seconds
spawn
left.
and into the flank. But that information no longer a question with all of this utility out. Great find there. Trapman just running away. Knows the win condition to stay alive and play the 2-on-1 with the advantage of having one player additionally. Esme now asked to clutch up. Trapman. The lockdown. It's 8 seconds left. She's got to commit to the plans. There's no other decision to be made, but I don't think she can get out in time. This is game over and out in the open. Yeah. She's a dead woman there, unfortunately. Trapman there to clean it up. 13-9. UAH. Back-to-back maps.
You know what? There's a reason this was a playoff series. Yes, UAH looked strong and dominant in their runs, but OCCC came out with some strats, or it wouldn't have been that close to begin with. Well done overall. UAH, though, pulling out the stops and Turk. Monstrous set of games. Again,